Hey there, friends. Just nursing a sore back here. I wanted to share something with you that came up in my weekly Empower call. That's my paid community. And it's around, I think it started with one of the members mentioning that she didn't feel she had any ambition. Nothing that really got her up and moving. And that led to a discussion about this idea that people with ADHD have an interest-based nervous system. And I observed the conversations that have been had around this. Now, again, I want to preface this, that I'm not saying my take on it is the take. I'm just saying in my experience. And I fully appreciate there are other angles on this and lenses, and man, do I want to hear them, because then it allows us to all have a much more complete picture and understanding. Groovy? Okay, with that, the conversations that I've seen equate interest with pleasure. So they'll talk about things they like to do for fun, things that are entertaining, things that they really like doing. And far too often, interest is conflated with those dopamine hits, those instant rewards, or those things we don't think we have to wait too long for. And we live in a Western culture where, let's face it, entertainment and distraction is our country's favorite pastime. We're all about binge watching Netflix or getting caught up on TikTok, or anything to keep us distracted from our own inner experience, from getting to know ourselves. So interest, saying that we have an interest-based nervous system, is very superficial. It's saying that we're driven by pleasure. Okay, and that's the extent of it. That's the only thing that will move you as somebody with ADHD. The drive for something interesting, entertaining, fun, pleasure. Well, what good is that? Honestly, it doesn't make you seem like you're any more motivated than a dog chasing a bone. Somebody throws it, and you're like, oh, great, I'm going to go chase this. It's interesting, it's shiny. And that's all very superficial, reactive stuff that mostly occurs when you have an undisciplined understanding of yourself, your needs, your nervous system, and how to manage it. So, to now move over to my understanding of it. One thing that I know from just my own lived experience and other people I've talked to, there's something much deeper than pleasure that can get you to move, whether you feel like having fun or not, whether you're in the mood, and whether you think that fun is even going to come sooner. It may come a lot later. But if I'm only supposed to have an interest-based nervous system, how am I able to get myself moving when it doesn't feel interesting? Or when it might be downright painful or frightening or risky? How do I get myself to move then? Well, in my experience, purpose. Value-driven purpose. I could say I don't want to get up in the morning because, it hurts too much. The day's not going to be fun because of this happened or that happened. Well, I've got values I want to experience regardless of whether there are guardrails, roadblocks, people with bad attitudes. Those are all things that I just need to navigate as part of living my purpose. But if I think it all has to be interesting, fun, easy, why would I even start? I imagine you've had these conversations with people. You've heard them or maybe even been a part of them, where their criteria for not doing something are along the lines of, well, that doesn't sound like any fun. Well, that isn't interesting at all. And that seems to be the basis for whether they do or do not do anything, the fun factor. What about it'll be interesting, challenging, it'll grow you. It'll require you to look at yourself, look at your beliefs, question how you do things, consider a new point of view. That stuff can be interesting if it's in alignment with your value to be teachable, to grow. See, if so much of how we value what's interesting to us is based on maintaining our comfort zone, our sense of safety and security and control. We can really fool ourselves into thinking that we are honoring our interest-based nervous system, when all we're really doing is kind of buying into a model that enables you to allow yourself to be guided more by impulses, in-the-moment pleasures, and doesn't really require you or even compel you to dig deeper and ask yourself, is there something more important to me than pleasure? Something that can get me to move in even those most difficult moments where it may not seem like the safest thing to do, but it's a necessary thing to do. What do I have available to me to help get me to move? And that's purpose. And I can't tell you right now what you can do to find purpose, but I can tell you that it makes a difference when you do. And I help my clients, of course, find their purpose, their focus, their core values that really get them to move, even when the voice in their head is saying, don't do it. That's going to be boring. It's going to drive you nuts. It's not going to be fun. Purpose can quiet that voice, or at least ignore it. So that's my 2 cents on this. I just wanted to share it. I'm eager to hear any feedback you have. And if there's anybody that you think could benefit from this, please share it. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to go back to resting now. Thanks for being you, and we'll talk again soon.